Welcome to Campfire Curmudgeon. I'm your host, Heidi, and with me is...
Nicholas Jones.
Nicholas Jones.
Said with confidence.
So much confidence. I actually have a stand-in today pretending to be Nicholas Jones.
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, God.
I have a Nick imposter.
What would that be like?
We should do it someday and find out. Have somebody play you and somebody play me. We can do that.
I think we should get your sister to play you.
No, thank you.
Or you should get Josh to play me.
No, thank you.
Josh knows me well enough. He can do an impersonation of me.
I don't think you want him to do an impersonation of you.
I get really mad.
His impersonations of anybody are like, fucking excuse me. Hold up. Well, guess what? Is it funny? I haven't said anything yet.
No, I'm laughing at the previous thing. Go.
Oh. Guess what?
What?
Tonight.
Is it scary?
It's going to be scary. If you go outside,
Oh.
you're going to see the moon's red, which
Yeah.
means, like, what, Armageddon or something?
Blood.
Rapture?
Red moon.
I don't know. I remember there's something
End
like that in the
times.
Bible.
Yeah.
Did you know Armageddon's actually
The
a
moon
place?
the moon will turn
Not
into
a
blood
thing,
as
it's a place.
red as sackcloth.
Did you know Armageddon already happened? It was the fall of Rome. Anyways,
Megiddo and Constantinople.
look at you. Super Blood Wolf Moon Eclipse.
Oh! Welcome to the Blood Moon Wolf Blood episode.
No, Super Blood Wolf Moon Eclipse.
Super Blood Eclipse Wolf Moon.
Super Blood Wolf Moon Eclipse.
I said Molf.
Is that like a milk?
I know. I don't know. Let our audience answer.
Oh, no.
No, I'm not going there.
Say it 5 times fast. Super Blood Wolf Moon Eclipse. Super Blood Wolf Moon Eclipse.
Eclipse.
I've had too much caffeine. Woo! Anyways, do you know why it's called that?
No.
I didn't know why it was called that either.
Tell me the very deep theological Christian reasons why.
It's not.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's
Something lunar is not Christian? Okay.
I don't know if you're sarcastic or not, but we're going to move on.
Yes, let's move on.
So, a wolf moon is the name that the Farmer's Almanac writers assigned the first full moon of the year. So, every time there's a first full moon of the year, it's a wolf moon.
Wolf moon.
It's been attributed to Native American folklore, but that's probably just bullshit and made up. Yeah.
Yeah.
For, the almanac to sound cool.
Yeah.
A blood moon is obviously because it's red.
Uh-huh.
So, and there's an eclipse. So then you have super, blood, wolf, moon, eclipse. It's super because that's when it looks bigger.
Right.
So
there's apogee, and then there's the opposite of apogee. Yep. It's basically in the ellipse that is the orbit that the moon...
ellipse of the eclipse.
Yes.
You were getting those two confused earlier.
Exactly. I have brushed up on my astronomy nomenclature.
Nice.
The moon orbits the Earth in an ellipse, and the closest point of that moon is called either perigee or apogee.
I think perigee?
Maybe. But
I don't know.
when that happens, and it's also it's right after the first of the year, which is also the autumn or the winter solstice. It means basically that the Earth
sometimes the moon looks really big. Sometimes it looks really small. Sometimes it looks really normal.
There's like a crazy amount of closeness.
Yep, the moon looks bigger because it's slightly closer, and sort of, by a little bit.
And that's...
You're welcome, yes. Science. And moving on. This has been your science lesson. Mm-hmm. Whoops. We're super qualified for it.
I'll be curmudgeon about that.
You're going to be a curmudgeon about that? You don't think we're super qualified to talk about these eclipses?
Disclaimer.
Ooh. Well, hopefully some of you got the chance to go outside and see it. We're going to see if we can take any photos, but I'm sure our cell phones are just going to be like, look at this cool dot.
Well,
that's how it always goes.
There's some hazy cloud cover. Like it was...
Yeah, it's kind of creating like a cool halo effect, but if not, if we can't get some cool pictures, there's Google. I'll put something on Instagram.
And ABC 12 news station.
Sure.
They take great photos.
They take great photos. You follow them?
Yes.
Well, there you go. He's giving you a... you're funny.
I follow local news for the photography.
Not a bad reason to follow local news. Probably one of the better ones nowadays.
Not the racism.
Let's actually see something worth looking at with our beautiful eyeballs.
I don't care where the car accidents or the shootings are. I don't care about...
I do. Traffic, man.
Well,
I gotta drive in it.
I do care about stuff.
I assume you're referring to the horrible traffic we all had to deal with due to a car accident and a shooting.
Right. Well, there was actually 2 car accidents.
Anyways, Arizona.
Oh!
We know how to drive.
In the
Real
rain.
good.
Okay, blood moon.
Blood moon.
Wolf moon.
Does that mean the moon's bleeding? That would be far more badass. Like, honestly, too, Super Blood Wolf Moon, can that be somebody's band name? Please?
I'm sure it is.
It's
Well,
gotta
there's,
be.
like Wolf Mother and...
Yeah, but they're,
Yeah.
I mean, like, a good band needs to have that as their name.
What if actress Moon Bloodgood was the leader of a metal band? What would it be called?
Super Blood Wolf Moon? Obviously.
Good.
Super good Blood Wolf Moon?
I mean, I went through, I was thinking about this and I did a search on the Harris Whittles quote about Moon Bloodgood, and I couldn't find it, but I did find like a compilation of vines, and it might as well have been as if I stumbled across like a Mitch Hedberg collection because it was gorgeous, and we'll post it. It's tangentially relevant because Harris Whittles mentions
We'll post that as part of
Moon
Nick's,
Bloodgood, but he calls her
Nick's
Blood
Tangent
Good.
Corner.
Yes, Harris is actually kind of the reason I know him is because he got famous for having Harris's phone corner. It would be Twitter jokes that he would write that he didn't feel were good enough for Twitter. So he would save the bad Twitter jokes for the podcast. And it became,
There you go.
And then it became Harris's phone corner. And then it became Harris's foam corner just because people misheard it. And now the foam corner is basically the pocket of nerds that reveres podcasts and alt comedy and Harris Whittles and all that stuff.
So that was Nick's Tangent Corner.
Yes.
And now, why is this Super Blood Wolf Moon cool? Because it looks cool, first off.
Yes.
And it's going to be the only one until 2021. And who knows if we'll all be here. So,
well, according to some people on my feed, it's
the last
days.
total lunar eclipse until 2021.
Oh, I was
So,
gonna say, lots of end time stuff happening.
There's always lots of end time stuff happening. When I was
know.
a kid, there was lots of end time stuff happening.
How many times has the world almost
Y2K.
ended on May 21st of
I don't
whatever?
know.
Yeah.
All the computers were going to blow up in the... I don't know.
Apparently, that's also there's also a programming thing about the year 2038, where there's also a second Y2K scare. Like, what, are our computers ready for 2038?
If not, then we done fucked up, and we're going to figure it out.
And we're gonna figure it out over what if computers don't work? Campfires.
And that's what it'll sound like if computers stop. You won't hear us anymore.
Yeah, you'll actually have to come to the campfire.
The
to hear
voices in your head
campfire
won't
conversations.
actually be us. There'll be voices in your head. You'll have to get it addressed at that point in time. You can't just tell people you're listening to a podcast. So obviously, eclipses, blood moons, there have been a lot of superstitions and myths and that type of thing.
Well, not just myths, actual catechism and theology.
Well, all sorts of things. I mean, if you look outside and you see it and you don't know what the fuck it is, it's pretty intense.
Yeah.
Even when you know there's going to be an eclipse, sometimes if you've sort of forgotten, you glance up at the moon, you're like, whoa, the moon looks real weird. Oh, yeah, eclipse. So, it's not surprising that there's all sorts of different reasons that people would attribute to these sort of things. In some folklore, the moon, so it seems, if anyone has seen an eclipse, I'm sure you all have. If not, you know what it is. The moon sometimes appears to disappear. And so some people in folklore, they would try to say that this was something like the Incan Empire, it was their moon goddess. And they would say that the reason she disappeared was an animal or a serpent would attack her. And so they would try to scare this eclipse away. So whenever they saw an eclipse, that meant that their goddess was being attacked. To save her, they would make a lot of noise. So they would shout, party, whatever, make as much noise as possible to try to scare off whatever entity it was that she was coming up against.
That would basically make the non-moon go away and the moon come back. The moon goddess.
A lot of the times they would say that it was like some sort of big cat, like a jaguar or something like that was actually attacking her. So that's the entity that they would be trying to scare away. They would even get their dogs to howl and bark to join in to make extra noise. That's kind of cool.
Howling at the moon.
Yeah, there you go. Trying to scare it back. He's trying to scare the moon back, yeah.
Mary, are you worried? Just say the word and I'll chase the cats away from the moon. Instead of George. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He decides to...
I just decided to stare at you and see if you were like, laugh. Please laugh. God, laugh at me.
Are you real, Mary?
My jokes are funny.
Shoo's paddles.
My jokes are funny.
My jokes are funny. I am found to be funny.
At times, you have been found to be funny.
But just say the word and I'll lasso the moon.
Mesopotamian people believed that the moon was being attacked also. So they saw that their king might also be assaulted. So this was the parallel that they drove, because I'm not super up on my Mesopotamian,
Babylonian, Sumerian history?
Not so much, a little bit.
Okay.
But I know that a lot of these ancient civilizations had god kings, so
and they also paid huge amounts of attention to, basically visible to the eye astronomy.
Well, yes, and a lot of the times they believed that their rulers were either like a representation of a god or put in place by a god or was a god. So anytime something happened to, like, the moon, for instance,
it'd be a portent.
They would assume, well, the same thing is going to happen to our king. So they were able to actually predict the moon phases and the natural pattern of when eclipses would occur. So when they knew that an eclipse was coming, they would protect their king. They would hide him, and they would put somebody else in their place as like a substitute or like a fake king, so that if an attack would happen, that fake king would get killed and their real king would be safe, like a decoy.
Oh, really? So basically it'd be like an early warning system, and they'd basically go and do like the Saddam look-alike thing with their monarch.
Sure.
that was just
first thing that popped into your head?
Yeah. A leader who had doubles. When was the last leader other than Saddam who had doubles?
A lot of our presidents.
What?
Yeah. The Queen, she has a double.
Yeah. Melania has a double.
Probably.
Either that or she's getting like surgery every 2 weeks.
I wouldn't know.
I don't know.
I don't look at her that much.
Yeah.
Are you studying her?
No.
You're like, look at this picture.
No, I'm not studying
her. And then look at this picture. Her nose is different. Are you going to be one of those people that's like, I think Melania was replaced?
No. No, I think Melania
like, that's the thing with, what's her name? Canadian singer from the 2000s. Punk. Skater boy.
Oh, Avril Lavigne.
Yeah. God damn it. Why couldn't I remember that?
Paul McCartney.
Everybody says that she was replaced. That
Paul
she
McCartney,
died.
Like,
yeah.
Paul McCartney died and then somebody replaced him in the 60s.
I think hers is really funny, though.
Yeah.
You okay? Oh my God. Apparently, I'm super funny today by not being funny.
I just love our hard right turns. If they do segue value, like I'll take us way off, and then you'll have to like do a hairpin turn.
I'm
to
not
bring
good
us back.
at segues.
Yeah.
I usually finish it like sentences with "Yup."
Oh, I thought you meant like the hoverboard with the stick thing.
I'm probably not good at those either.
Yeah, either because they're balance related. Yeah.
I'm pretty good at balance.
Yeah, you can be.
I'm not good at rollerblading.
No.
Found that out the hard way.
Oh, no.
Oh, that was a while ago, but I still hurt.
Yeah.
I still hurt.
Oh, that's not good. No bueno.
Blood Moon Prophecies. Here, you can talk about this.
Don't get anything. Don't get into anything that has 8 wheels. You were told that.
So
at some
I'm not
point.
allowed to get into a semi? How many wheels do they have?
18.
Wow, that's a fuck ton of wheels.
They call it an 18-wheeler.
Cool. I don't need that information. It's useless, so I've pushed it out.
Welcome to what my brain is full of.
That's what Sherlock Holmes says. If you like put too much shit in your brain, then when you try to put other shit in, it doesn't fit. So you have to get rid of something, and it might be something critical. So you should only put in critical stuff. That's why I know so much important things, like that quote that I totally just butchered by Sherlock Holmes. Thanks, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. You're welcome. This is what my brain is full of.
Yeah. So now I know 18-wheelers, but I don't know what the germ theory of the disease is anymore.
Great. Thanks a fucking lot. Now I lost that too. Blood Moon Prophecies in the Bible.
Wash your hands, kids.
In the Bible.
And don't touch your face.
Yep. You wanna... I mean, you were kind of going on about these earlier.
What?
The Bible and blood moons.
Oh, okay. So I mentioned...
I'm like, it's your time to shine. Go.
I mentioned theology. And one of the reasons for theology is, do you know how Easter is set as a date?
Ostara?
Easter.
Sure.
Okay. Are you aware
it's
of
just
how...
near Ostara.
What is Ostara?
It's a pagan holiday.
Right, but
Heathen, specifically.
how is that calculated? How do they figure out what day that falls on each year?
Right about the time you start getting coupons for fish sandwiches at all of the fast food places, you know Lent is coming.
Yes.
And yes, I said Lent instead of Lent. It's
Lent.
funnier. Yes, I just like to call it Lent.
Do you have any Lent rollers?
Because people think that I don't know that it's
I
called Lent.
accidentally ate a cheeseburger today. Do you have any Lent rollers?
Oh my god. Oh no.
No, okay, it's totally not pagan, how Easter is found. It's actually the first Sunday after the first full moon, after the vernal equinox, after the first day of spring.
Well, star is on the equinox.
Yeah, so basically...
See, I told you I'd remember after my brain stopped scrambling itself like
So notice
Friday
Easter's
eggs.
never before March 21st?
Sure. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Never cared to know that.
Yeah.
But now I know it. Thanks.
Because that's when you plant your seeds.
I don't.
Agriculturally.
No.
Sow your oats.
Nope. I do it whenever I feel like it.
Oh, so you're one of those risky farmers.
Yep. Except I don't farm. I just do plant.
Succulents.
No, I don't plant those. I kill those.
Don't kill those.
I'll plant spiderwort and different coleus.
Neat.
Yeah. Neat stuff like that.
I'm a homeowner. I have no idea.
I can show you.
I have a black thumb or whatever
I have
it's
the
called.
sweet potato vine, the purple ones,
Yeah.
except they all died because it got really cold.
Have you noticed anything living other than me in this place?
Yeah, no, that would be a hard nope.
Yeah. No pets, no plants. I'm not responsible.
I'll get you a plastic plant.
Okay.
You're welcome.
It's just, here's this aluminum ficus. Like
I'll get you a fake succulent because succulents already kind of look fake, so nobody will know.
Yeah, they do. You can just make it oversized and they'll be
You
like,
can
wow.
just like water it occasionally.
That's really impressive.
You should set it outside and just every once
The
in a
water-
while just
the
water
water
it,
will
pour
be-
beer into
No.
it, and really confuse your neighbors. They're like,
Just-
what the? It's really thriving. He just keeps pouring beer into it. Is that good for plants? Does that work?
As long as I say dilly dilly, it fine.
Like then your neighbors try it. They're like, what the hell? My plant died.
See, your plant's liver wasn't working properly.
Oh no. Hopefully it's just the plant's liver we're worried about.
Yes, it should be. I don't drink to excess anymore.
Good job. High five.
Yes,
Things to celebrate.
that was a high five.
It definitely was a high five.
Just
It
for
was
our
like
listeners,
kind of the
it was just
lamest
like
high
a-
five because we were like,
it was like-
very slow motion.
It
We
was
were
like-
just kind of like, are we actually? Yeah. Okay. High five. We're
Just-
good at this. We're good at this.
We're having a
Ready?
fun show.
Ready?
Yeah.
That wasn't even good either.
I know.
We don't know how to high five.
Oy vey.
Tell us more about things. Blood moons, specifically.
The moon.
The theology you were saying.
Oh, that was it.
For like a hot minute. That was it?
I don't know when it was calculated. I don't know what Pope decided what.
Okay, continue.
I don't know whether it was the Council of Nicaea or where the Bible was put together by committee.
Well, wasn't it kind of said that blood moon was like a signifier of the end times? Because I remember every
Yes.
time there was a blood moon, like one time specifically in high school, we're at a football game. I wasn't paying attention to the game. And there was like this really cool blood moon. And a couple of the students freaked out and like called their parents and went home. It was really weird.
Really?
But I remembered,
What
that would
happened?
happen. Well, like every time there was a blood moon, there would always be like a couple students that were really like religious or whatever, and they would think that it might possibly potentially be the end times. So every single time there was a blood moon, they would not go to school or whatever if they didn't know, and they showed up somewhere and like realized it was a blood moon, they'd leave. It was really weird. I don't know.
I think. Well, I mean, Here's the thing with like the superstitions. What are you doing? Your video will
Customizing
play
your
after the,
insurance. What are you doing?
Not allowed to play commercials on our show. So with the one of the places that I worked, I was an OR desk clerk and surgery scheduler and surgery biller back when they did paper billing before it was a requirement for electronic billing. Thanks Obamacare, it actually improved stuff because we actually like would fill out paper to bill people like in the operating room.
Yikes.
Yeah. And it would be carbon paper, so it'd have like 3 different colors.
Oh, no, thank you. And I'm covered
And I would get one of the
with my pre-existing
and I would get
conditions.
one of the colors of piece of paper. And I worked with like nurses, techs, surgeons, anesthesiologists, other doctors, trauma doctors, brain surgeons, heart doctors, and on trauma night, everybody was superstitious. It didn't matter how much schooling or science you'd been exposed to. If it was a full night on a weekend in the summer, like you were just like, oh God, please get me through this because it's gonna be a night, like basically the full moons on a hot summer night
Yes.
would cause basically there'd be shootings, there'd be boating accidents, there'd be like just drunken idiocy resulting in like trauma surgeons having to come in and save people from just calamity.
What always surprises me when people are like, moons don't have any effect on people, and I'm like, you're filled with a lot of water, you're filled with a lot of fluids, you're like, you are a barometer. Some of us more than others, like some people are very good at telling if it's going to rain, when the weather changes, like me, when everything goes haywire, because I have super low blood pressure. So any atmospheric change kind of changes that, and I can tell. Some people, it's like they have certain like body parts that ache horribly, especially anything they've injured.
You've heard my shoulder click, and you've seen my knees and my
sure
ankle.
It's been audible on this podcast at least once.
Just the clack of my shoulder clicking is pretty brutal, and that definitely aches when the weather changes.
Yeah, you're like, my shoulder hurts. Oh, it's gonna rain.
Yeah. Or like, oh God, I have a toothache. What is with the toothache? And it's like, oh, it's gonna storm. Like,
the pressure.
That's not a toothache. That's
it's
my
like the
sinus.
Pressure in your sinus.
That's
cavity.
my sinuses in the top part of my skull pushing on my teeth.
But it's just funny because it's like, of course the moon affects other things. Why would it not affect people?
I'm gonna play a scene from a great movie that talks about the moon and the end of the world.
Okay.
Hey, Ray. Do you believe in God?
Never met him.
Yeah, well, I do. And I love Jesus' style, you know.
This roof cap is made of a magnesium tungsten alloy.
What are you so involved with there?
These are the blueprints for the structural ironwork in Dana Barrett's apartment building, and they're very, very strange.
Hey, Ray. Do you remember something in the Bible about the last days when the dead would rise from the grave?
I remember Revelation 7:12. And I looked as he opened the sixth seal, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became as black as sackcloth, and the moon became as blood.
And the seas boiled, and the skies fell.
Yeah.
And hopefully we don't get sued over that.
We'll be fine. We will be fine. I love Sony.
We'd have to have somebody listen to us first.
Exactly. Why do you think I didn't say that? But yeah, all he was doing was quoting Revelation. But yeah, I remember watching that movie, and that scene creeped me out because I was like, I ran to my Bible because, like all Catholic raised children, you didn't read the whole Bible. You went to church and you heard a reading, and then you heard a gospel message, and then you heard a homily, and then you heard the liturgy, and then you heard the Eucharist. You never read the whole Bible cover to cover, and they never...
But you read the dictionary.
Yes. I love words.
There were so many words in that. You could have read, like, stories.
Aardvark.
And you read... And now Nick will recite the first 2 pages of the dictionary.
Aaron!
Go. No, please don't. Aaron A. Aronson. We're going to start there. So I found some more myths because I was talking about how some of the different myths involving eclipses had to do with something happening to the moon or the sun being attacked.
Yes.
There's some, although they're not necessarily moon eclipse myths, there was some with the sun where it was something trying to devour it. So for the Chinese, if the moon or the sun was not visible, they believed that it was a dragon that was actually trying to devour the sun or devour the moon. For Vikings, it was sky wolves. For the Hindu, it was the decapitated Rahu who chases down the sun and moon because they betrayed his bid for immortality. And this information I found at news.com.au. Just going to throw that out there. So sorry for any inaccuracies. But
it just means it's an Australian news site.
No, it's news.com.au is the website.
Which is an Australian website.
Yes.
Okay.
But that's how you get there. I'm telling our listeners how to get there.
Yeah, but you're like, oh, this is some rando website. No, it's a legitimate news site from Australia.
I'm citing our sources.
Oh, thank you.
You're
Bibliography.
welcome, because I don't like to do it in the notes anymore.
No, why would you?
Because I forget to do it afterwards.
Yeah, no, it's good.
So now I say the notes while we go?
Yes.
So I don't have to put them in later? So we don't get sued.
Bibliography.
Litigations.
Or at least
not a fan.
Or accusations of
or having to pull it down.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah.
That happened in the dollop.
It's actually happened in some of our episodes too, because somebody liked to play music after them.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
And then you tried to upload it to YouTube, and they're like,
Nicholas
"We
Jones.
recognize this web file."
Oh, it wasn't just YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're welcome.
What?
All of the other sites that we post on it as well.
Oh, really?
Asked us to edit it.
Interesting.
Thank you. Can't use music you don't own.
Reason, colon, incident, Susal.
We had this talk. Nicholas.
If you don't understand what I just said, you weren't supposed to.
I was gonna say you would have understood it, because it would have been at the end of one of our episodes, except it's copywritten
all over Europe.
Darn. He was like, copyright, it doesn't count here. I was like, that's not how that works. It's European, it'll be fine. I was like, you don't understand copyright.
I've been watching a lot of lawyer shows recently.
Oh no. It's like, oh, you should definitely, do that.
Yes.
Are you a lawyer? Oh no, I just watch a lot of law shows. No, Nicholas Jones.
A client that represents himself has what was it? The person who represents himself has a fool for a client. That's the saying.
That's very true.
If you decide to do pro se, or what is it called? Where you represent yourself? Is that pro se?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
You look at me as if I have this information handy.
It's Latin. I didn't take Latin in high school. I took Spanish.
You know, if you had taken Latin,
I'd
maybe
probably
we could
be
have
a
summoned
doctor.
a demon for this show. Oh.
Expelliarmus!
Far more useful. I was just going to suggest, wouldn't our podcast be so much more fun if Nicholas uses Latin to summon a demon?
I could chant in Latin.
I could chant in Latin and
E pluribus unum. Actually, that can sound really menacing.
Anything can sound really menacing.
That's my point. That's my point, Heidi.
Oh, wow. Good point. You're funny. Anyways. Blood Moon.
Blood.
Do you have any fun eclipse stories?
No, not really.
Not really?
I really like getting a telescope and looking at the moon when it's in full moon, or when you can see most of its brightness. The moon's awesome to look at.
The moon's always awesome to look at, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think the most frustrating thing
is that we can't go there.
No, we can go there.
I couldn't.
We want.
What do you mean?
If you have enough money.
Oh, okay.
You can go to the moon.
Okay.
Or if you're an astronaut, you can go to I'm sure if you were
I'm scared of heights.
Billionaire that went to Russia and was like, please send me to the moon, they would try.
Lance Bass tried that. They said no, finally.
Finally?
Yeah.
Maybe he just didn't keep trying hard enough.
I'm just saying.
Just live your dreams, Nicholas. If you want to go to the moon, I'm encouraging you to go to the moon.
I do want to go to the moon.
We should all start a Kickstarter to send you to the moon.
Oxygen's on you, though, by the way, Nicholas.
If you get stuck, though, it'd be a little hard to do this podcast, so then I'd have to find another
You know
curmudgeon.
what?
That's just too much work.
There would only be a 3-second delay. I could.
Oh, there you go. You can record from the moon.
Yes, because
Nicholas is going to live on the moon.
Because of the distance of the moon, it's 1.5 light seconds away.
Interesting.
Which means that a round trip conversation is 3 seconds. A round trip signal.
Not bad.
Yes.
Not too big of a lag.
No.
Just enough for us to talk over each other like we already do.
Yeah. I want to go to the moon, but I'm scared of heights.
I think there would be scarier things than heights to worry about at that point.
Yeah.
Like flying through space.
Oh, like accidentally missing the moon.
Missing the moon, or it blowing up upon re-entry, getting like a small enough crack that
you've really not made the grade. Farewell and goodbye, Major Tom.
Oh no!
You're headed towards the sun.
Whoops! Took a wrong turn there.
I mean, if it takes 3 days to fly the 250,000 miles to the orbit of the moon, how long would it take a spacecraft to fly 93 million miles? Which is basically 4 times that to get to 1 million times 93.
That's a lot of numbers.
Yeah, so 93, like 90 times 4 is, what's 4 times 9? It's 24. No.
I'm just going to stare at you while you do math.
I do math.
He's got a cell phone next to him with a calculator.
Uh-huh.
I don't even remember what numbers he said by
4
now.
4 times 9 is 36. So it's 360 days?
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was Moon Math Corner with Nicholas Jones.
It would take a year to get to the sun.
Okay, Sun Math Corner with Nicholas Jones. Space Math! Ooh! My biggest disappointment is that in the year 2019, my cell phone takes such amazing pictures, but when you point it at the moon,
No shit!
all you get is a stupid dot.
I hate that.
I'm still so sad that I can't just take a picture of the moon.
Digital cameras should have always anticipated having like a night mode or an astronomy mode.
Digital cameras should always have anticipated we want to take pictures of the moon.
Yes.
Jeez.
Because we've been taking pictures of the moon since we could take pictures. We've been taking pictures of the stars.
We've been taking pictures of dots.
Yeah, so let's get some like good detail in there. And I don't want to have to buy some bullshit lens thing that you clip to the back of the phone off of Wish.
That doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on Wish. If there is something that lets you take pictures of the moon, we're totally going to put that.
Ew, it's bleeding. Like,
Blood moon.
How did they make this lens that came from Wish? Like, it's just junk. They make it out of junk.
They make it out of junk.
Yes, and you get it, and it's all like, ooh, it's gooey, and you're like, ooh, never mind, it was $2, and it costs more to ship it. So
why do you buy gooey things from Wish? What are you buying from Wish?
Nothing.
Tell us.
Nothing anymore.
Tell us now. Oh my! So we have an untold story here of something Nicholas bought from Wish.
I bought a
that was gooey.
I brought a clipboard. It was a clipboard, and it was gooey. So
a what?
It was like sticky. Like
no. What did you buy?
A clipboard.
What the
like for paper.
Why did you buy that on Wish? They're like $1 at Staples.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I know.
All right.
It was like, ooh, this looks. It had a cool pattern, and it was just gross.
Was it like a cool marble pattern, or was it like stripies? Was it some florals that were nice?
It was space.
It was space.
You're like, I'm gonna coax the nerd out of him. I know it was like Star Wars or some bullshit.
That's what, yeah.
It
was space.
But it wasn't. But basically, Wish can't do. It wasn't Star Wars. I could see you thinking. You're like, it was nerdy. I know it was nerdy because otherwise he would have just bought the like fucking card.
Yeah, I was like, so let's find the real reason he didn't buy the regular.
Put Nick on the couch. What questions do you have, amateur psychiatrist, for Nick on the couch?
As long as it's paranormal related, I'm down.
Yeah.
Send us your questions, comments, concerns.
Yeah, and as long as it's in fun, I'm open.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Send us all the things at campfirecurmudgeon.com. If you have any cool stories, or if you went out and you saw this super good blood wolf eclipse. Stop it.
Supercalibrolistic
expialifragilistic super blood wolf moon eclipse.
Moon eclipse.
If you went outside and saw the super blood wolf moon eclipse, or you have any crazy stories that happened to you during this time, send them to us. You know where to send them. gmail.com.
Yep.
You can see us on the Facebook. You can see us on the Instagram. We have a Twitter that Nicholas never does anything with.
No.
But you could tweet at him.
Yes.
And be like, yo, here's my story.
And I will get the notification, and I will reply.
That's how that works. Anyways, thanks for listening.
And keep the campfire burning.
Burning.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, campers, thanks for listening. Got any scary stories? Send them to campfirecurmudgeon@gmail.com or message us on Facebook. You can even send a text or leave a voicemail at 480-442-0124. Don't forget to visit us on Instagram and tweet us at CF Curmudge.